Hey, this is Dave from Dash Off-Road. Today we're going to interview Junior from the US and he's driving an Armada. We want to know all about what the Armada is. So Junior, can you tell me why you bought your car?
I bought my car last year of June, so a year next month. We've been looking for a large SUV for a little while. I'm a Nissan fanatic, of course. Since I can remember, been driving nothing but Nissans. I have a Nissan 300ZX, I have a Nissan Titan, had a couple Sentras, and then now I purchased the Y62 Armada.
Yeah.
Since the family was growing, we sold our car and we needed an SUV, so we were looking for a larger SUV.
What?
And, at that time, the Armada wasn't, this was last year, let's say earlier, around January last year, but the Armada was not released yet.
Oh yeah.
It was on the internet, but we wanted to look at the Infinities, but the price is just killer on them.
That was my next question. What if you didn't get an Armada? What was like the other cars you were looking at?
I was looking at Tahoes, Tahoe and the Toyota Tundra. I mean Tacoma. Sorry, Sequoia.
So I've never heard of those types of vehicles before. I'm gonna have to go and get on Google and see what they are.
Toyota Sequoia is kind of like, I'd say, almost about the size of a Land Cruiser.
Yeah.
It's just, you familiar with the Toyota Tundra?
Yes, it's like bigger again.
It's the front end just like a Tundra, but it's an SUV. It's an SUV Tundra.
Gotcha. Oh yeah. So with size, like in Australia, the Patrol is probably one of the biggest cars on the road, and it's almost too big for the city. And my wife hates parking in shopping centres and things. Like, how does it fit in over there?
In Arizona, everybody drives SUVs. It's for Arizona, trucks is a big thing over here.
Yeah.
So yes, it's a little tricky in parking spaces, but over here, I haven't had trouble with parking spaces since there are larger. Most of the shopping centers you go, they have larger parking spaces.
Yeah.
And usually I park away from all the other vehicles, so we have plenty of room to get off, you know. But stay away from another car.
I often find myself parking and I can't get out one side of the car and have to crawl across to get out the other side. That's how tight the car parks are here.
I've been to a couple of those, yeah. It's not fun.
Tell me about it. So, like, I'm trying to work out what is similar between our vehicles and what is different. So I had a very quick look online, and like you've got some, like all of ours come with leather. It's the same color. You get this charcoal leather. They all come with a sunroof. They all come with four-wheel drive, diff locks, the sand, rock, mud mode.
All the Patrols are four-wheel drive in Australia?
Yeah, the whole lot. Yep, it's the only way you can get them. So,
that's interesting. Yeah, because you can get them in two-wheel drive or all-wheel drive.
Yeah, so yeah, ours they're all all-wheel drive, and then you can turn a little dial which turns them into four-wheel drive, and then there's the diff lock as well.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I wish we had diff lock.
Must admit, the traction control is so good. If you put it in rock mode and low range, you almost don't need the locker. It kind of works like a locker anyway. It's really impressive. But like trim levels, we can just get like basically one trim level. That's it. What options do you have?
They have, in 2017, I think there was only 3 trim levels. There was the base model, the SV, then they had the SL, and then they had the Platinum. That's the model I have. On the SV, when we're looking at them, you get your 18-inch wheels, you get cloth seats.
Cloth seats?
Interior, yeah.
Okay.
And most of the SVs were available only in bench seat. You didn't get the captain's chairs on the SV model.
I'd never heard of the captain chair before until I saw someone post it the other day. What's a captain chair?
Captain's chair is pretty much like your front. It's your front seats in the back. You get your center console in the center. It's just it's a 4-seater pretty much. Instead of your second row being a bench seat, it's actually just 2 seats. That's all you get.
I feel like I've just been. Does it come with a chauffeur?
I wish it did.
That would be so cool. But you can get different color trims as well, can't you?
Yeah. there's different color levels. I have the white Pro White. They have another color called Hermosa Blue, which is a beautiful blue color, dark blue color.
Yeah.
The other one is, I don't know the color code, but it's like a burnt orange color, which is a really nice one. And they have a darker brown, which is, I forgot the name, it's mocha brown, something like that.
So yeah.
And then you have the black color.
Yeah.
And for the 2017 models, the flares were always the same color, always dark gray color, all of them.
Those flares have really shown some interest here because we can't get flares, and the big thing in Australia, we want to fit 35-inch tyres, and they stick out the guard by like 5-10 mil, and we really, to be road legal, we should put flares on, but they're very difficult to get here, and like they come out standard with your model. We're quite jealous.
Yeah, even your base model comes with fender flares.
I bet after this, there's going to be people in Australia hitting you up for like parts and things to ship them over here.
Yeah, I mean, I actually have a friend, he's doing some research about getting a whole kit, which it's flares along with the running boards.
Yeah.
That's with the clips, but it does require modification of your fender. You have to drill a hole so you can put the clips in there.
That's fine.
So your fenders, yeah, it's typical, you have to modify it, but he's working up a kit, and then we'll post it online on Facebook, see what the kit will cost, and get shipped.
Yeah, cool.
For you guys.
What about like in Australia when we go touring, like we see kangaroos all the time or emus, and there's a good chance of hitting them. Like, so we all put bull bars on the front of our cars. You can get accessories like that over there?
No, I haven't seen one out here.
Really?
No, I believe that the reason why it's a new model out right now.
Yeah.
And the only thing I've seen so far is just a hood deflector. I've seen a billet grill available now.
Yeah.
But as so far as an intake, they have intake kits for it. But as such as like off-road modifications, I haven't seen any out here.
So did anyone lift them or anything like that?
I was looking online. I don't know if you saw the Nissan Trucks page that Mountain Patrol.
Yep. Oh yes. The 6-inch Cal Mini lift. Yeah.
That's something available now, I guess.
That is so cool. I haven't seen one in Australia yet, but it'll happen without a doubt. So big question, with your 2-wheel drive model, and I know talking about fuel economy is almost like a bad subject around this vehicle, but what sort of fuel economy do you get with your 2-wheel drive?
In the city, I get about 15.5 miles per gallon in the city.
Alright, for us Australians, I'll work that out and put that up in the box.
I've done about a 300-mile trip on the highway. I was getting 18 to 19 miles per gallon. That's on a nice level road. Yeah.
I'll have to convert that afterwards, and I'll post it down the line. I get, mine's fairly heavy and modified, and I get about 18 litres per 100. To be honest, doesn't matter if I'm in town or driving in the bush. And that works out to about 700 Ks, 750 Ks out of a tank. And I can't work that out quickly to what that is in miles.
It's a little heavy too.
We get beaten up a fair bit about our fuel economy, but if you've got ponies, you've got to feed them, right?
Yeah.
I'm interested again in fuel. Like for me to fill up my tank of fuel, it was like $190 last week, Australian dollars. How much would it cost to, and it's 140 litres, and I only put in 120 litres at the time. So what does it cost to fill up your tank?
Right now, fuel price has gone through the roof in the last month.
Yeah.
About, let's say we go back 2 months ago, fuel prices was a gallon here was about $2.20 a gallon.
Yeah, right.
So empty with my low fuel, I did it once. It filled up with around $48, $49 around there.
I could only wish for that.
But I have a smaller fuel tank.
Do you?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I think it's about 105-liter tank. Is what I have.
Yeah. Okay. So you're saying I have to work this out. So say you got a 100-litre tank, and it's how much per gallon? So it's about I can't work it out. I have to work it out. But yeah, ours cost, so $45 for you is probably like, I don't know, $60 or $70 Australian. I filled up for it with 100 litres of premium unleaded last week, and it was $190, which is like probably $150 for you, and that lasts me like, and I get about 700 k's out of that, so that's what, like 500 miles or something, and
yeah, you have a large tank. You have a, what, 150 or 140 litre tank?
It's 140 litres, but it's a bit silly. I've never squeezed more than 120 into it. It was like past the red into the like 0 part, and I still only fit 120 litres in it. So I don't know where the other 20 goes. Anyway, so like in Australia, we sold under 1,000 Y62 Patrols last year in the entire country. I looked up the stats for the US. Yeah, it was like 900 and something. The stats for the US were like 35,000 Armadas, and you.
Yeah, I mean, when this SUV came out, it's like, what can I say? When the first month that it was released, I saw about 4 within like maybe about the first month.
Yeah.
And now you're starting to see more and more often. There's a lot of them on the road now.
So,
and the reason why is you get so much SUV for the price of a Chevy Tahoe.
Yeah.
And Toyota Sequoia. I mean, it's just, the price is cheaper of an Armada than buying a Tahoe, a Yukon, or a Toyota Sequoia. Just the prices are just so expensive, and you get more for your money out of their Armada.
Yeah. It's even here, like compared to Land Cruisers are probably the biggest comparison of that size, and compared to to buy a Patrol in Australia, the cheap one is probably about 75,000, but for 75,000 Australian you get a 400 horsepower V8, 7-speed auto, the full drive package, sunroof, leather, trying to think what else, and then for about another 10 grand you get all of that plus ventilated seats, DVD recorders in the back, a refrigerated glove box, and there's a few other.
Oh yeah, the center console. Do you guys have like the cool center console, the little?
Yeah, the top of the line one. It's air conditioned, so there's like there's a separate dedicated air conditioner just for where you put your center arm, and it'll chill down a 6-pack in like 20 minutes.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
I was like, wow, we don't have that option. That's actually pretty cool, I think.
That is cool. Top of the line also gets adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning, an automatic boot that goes up and down, heaps of stuff in it. But if you compare that, say that's 85,000, 90,000, if you compare that to a Land Cruiser, what you get for the same sort of price, in a Land Cruiser you'll get a steering wheel, you'll get seats, you get a radio, and that's about it. Like you can't get if you want a spec Land Cruiser, you've got to pay 115 grand basically. It goes up crazy after that. So yeah, that's hopefully that for some of the US people looking at our Patrol market and watching this video, they get a bit of an idea of what happens in Australia with our 2 models that we get. You guys jealous, like how many must be on the road? What's the perception about petrol versus diesel? Because the reason we can't sell them in Australia is because we're a very heavy diesel market. Do you get that there?
We don't have a lot of vehicles, diesel-powered vehicles. However, they just released the Nissan Titan diesel.
Yeah.
But they are working like mostly it's coming out on the pickups. Nissan has a diesel model truck. Ford is coming out with a diesel model truck. Chevrolet, GM, General Motors coming out with the truck diesel powered. So diesel is slowly making a comeback here in the States, I'd say.
Yeah.
There is an SUV that's the Jeep, the Grand Cherokee, is available in diesel.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah.
And as SUVs, that's the only SUV that I know that's diesel out here. And I believe Mercedes has a diesel model out here, and Volkswagen has a diesel too.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the larger SUVs. no, there's not much. There's not a diesel option out here.
It's a funny one. Like, our market is so stuck in diesel mind frame, and they say it's because they want extra range, but you know, we're getting 750 kilometers, it's like 500 miles out of a tank anyway. Like, how much more do you need? I don't know.
Yeah, me on the full tank, if I'm going cross country, I think it's about 450 miles.
Yep.
Full tank.
That sounds about right.
That's if I'm light on the pedal. If I'm not going a little hard for the truck, you know.
It's hard to do too.
Yeah, it is.
What's the speed limit? Is it 60 miles there?
What's that? I'm sorry.
The speed limit on the country?
Speed limit's 75 on the major highways. It's 75 miles an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
That's about, let's say 1 kilometers. I can't really.
Well, 60. Yeah. I have to go look that up.
I can look. It'll help me out a little bit right here.
Oh, so this is your car. Show us around your car.
What's that?
Show us around your car there.
Oh, sure. Here it is. I'll just put the ignition on. There you go.
Oh yeah.
This is what we have. You have your cameras here.
There's a little bit of glare from the house across the road. That's better.
Let's see.
Oh yeah.
Right there.
Yep. So you've got the same camera as ours. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, you got your front camera, rear camera, you got your side cameras. So pretty much a 360 degree view of cameras you get here.
Yep.
Of course, you get your GPS, and that's my average fuel economy right now in city.
Oh, that's honest. Good.
And of course, you have what else do we have here? You have your heated seats. You have your cooled heated seats.
Yep.
You have a heated steering wheel. Your rear climate control. I mean.
Oh yeah, heated steering wheel. I don't think we've got that.
What's that?
Heated steering wheel. I don't think we've got that.
Yeah, you right here. And it heats the steering wheel pretty quick too when you turn it on.
Everything looks the same as our TIL model, our top spec, sort of 90 grand version.
Yeah, I think it's what it is. This one, of course, has you have your stereo controls in the wheel. You have your adaptive cruise control.
Yep.
And you have your bar monitor and automatic accident prevention system. And for the rear, I got the bench seat. The bench seat is when the Armadas first came out in the platinum trim, you get the captain's chairs.
Yeah.
It was really hard to find one with the bench seat. So that's one of the reasons what slowed us down from buying one until we found one in our dealership, full drive with a bench seat, and we went for that one. And that's pretty much it. We
don't even have that option for bench at the captain's chairs. I reckon that would be quite popular with the big Ks that we do in Australia.
Yeah.
So you're looking to do any modifications to it?
I am planning on, one of the things I like to do is I like to get the Nismo Patrol, the 22-inch wheels.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
But to get them, that's going to be kind of impossible again. But
yeah.
But I do like to upgrade the tires to more of an off-road tire with these stock 20-inch wheels. In 2 weeks, I'm going to be going down to the beach in the sand. I'm going to see how she does out in the sand for the first time.
Yeah.
So
I think you'll be fine.
You know, I can't. I'm like, it's a patrol. She'll handle it. It's a desert machine. I hope, but I don't get those fancy off-road features. Let me show what we get for off-road over here. This is what we get here.
I don't even think you'll need it. Just turn all that traction control off and just put your foot down.
Yeah, that's all we get right here.
Ah.
You got snow mode, traction control off. You got tow mode.
Tow mode?
Of course, you're forward. Yeah,
so,
tow mode.
What does tow mode do?
What I've noticed when I use tow mode, when I haul my car, 5,000 pounds total weight, it holds your RPMs a lot longer during your shifts.
Oh, yeah.
And with braking, it automatically downshifts.
Oh,
you
yeah.
got an engine brake, yeah.
Ours does that sort of by itself. But interesting, I looked up, you can tow, I think it was 8,500 pounds, which is for a kilogram is 3.8 tonne in our terms. In Australia, we are line cut off at 3.5 tonne. And we can't tow any more than 3.5 ton, and it's a real pain because a lot of the caravans that are coming out now, you know, you can put more of them than 3.5 ton in there. So it's quite frustrating. Even we've had to do a GVM, like the weight of our car, try and upgrade it so we can carry more weight on our car and then be able to tow too. So it's really tricky. It's annoying that you guys get 3.8 ton off the bat and we have to go and pay an engineer to do it.
Yeah, and I was looking at that too, but I did notice that our bumpers in the rear stick a lot longer.
Yeah, it's got a big lip, Mick Jagger lip there.
Yeah, because last year, Thanksgiving Day, I was involved in an accident. I got rear-ended by a little minivan. And what it is here, the whole bumper, the reason why it's so big, it's a whole frame and hitch assembly. It's all in one piece.
Ah.
So it has a larger hitch. That's the reason why it sticks up, because we pulled the bumper off at the body shop, and all it has is a foam and a large bumper / hitch all together in one piece.
Oh yeah.
So that kind of, it's because down here, you move this cover, and you have your hitch.
Oh, okay. It's in there.
And then right up here, it goes up, and you have your larger hitch attached to your frame.
Ours is much smaller. And I don't know, I can see the upsides of that for me. Like when I go to stand on the back of my car to get up to the roof rack, that would be really useful. But a lot of us here, because we upgrade the tyres, you can no longer fit the spare tyre underneath the boot anymore. So there's only a one size 33-inch tyre that fits there. So we end up having to upgrade our tyre, well, to a Kmart rear bar or a Razzler rear bar, which is a steel one. And that adds another 150 kilos to it, and so we run into GVM problems all the time. Hey, this has been such a cool little chat. I reckon there's going to be a heap of questions that come out of this. I'm keen to see if there's going to be more questions from the guys in the US or Australia. But yeah, thank you so much for showing us your car and telling us what the market is, because we don't get to hear much without, you know, we've got so few of them here.
There are a lot out here now. They're growing, and for the 2018 model to Armada, they offered another package. It's called the Platinum Reserve.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's got like these. Are you familiar with the Ford King Ranch models?
No.
It's got this fancier leather. It's just more of more bells and whistles. What you get
more
luxury into the Armada.
Yours looks like it's got a fair bit already.
What's that? I'm sorry.
How many more bells and whistles can you get? Gee.
I was looking at. I was kind of jealous. I'm like, why wasn't this really available last year? You know, I could have gotten that, but
yeah.
It has like a darker chrome accents on the exterior. Nice, beautiful leather seats. They come with the larger navigation screen now. Instead of a 7-inch, it's an 8-inch screen. It has a smart rear view camera mirror. I'm sorry. So your rear view mirror is actually a camera.
That's come out standard on the 2018 model here.
Oh yeah, the smart rear view camera. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Very cool. Well, all right. Well, I might wrap it up. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem. Anytime.
Yeah, I hope that some of the Armada people over there start looking at us for our mods and vice versa. I think we're going to end up pinching some stuff on what you guys can get for your car as well. I really appreciate it.
That's what I'm doing. I'm looking up online. I just found that page that you guys have on Facebook and looking at the parts. It's actually pretty cool. Aftermarket parts.
There's so much available. We can get whatever we want now, pretty much.
Lucky.
Yeah, you name it, we can do it. So that's very cool. All right, I'll let you go. I've got to go and start work. So it's Sunday afternoon in the US, and it's a Monday morning in Australia. So I've got to go to work. I'll see you next time. Talk to you on Facebook. Cheers.